Imagine an organization that you look up to hosted a design contest for a mascot. You entered and your design won. And then you see that they took your design and it looks like they fed it through AI. Because that might be exactly what happened here. Let's get into this. Everything kicks off with this tweet posted by the Olympic Games. AO, the Dakar 2026 mascot. It was selected through a nationwide competition launched by the Dakar 2026 Organizing Committee in collaboration with the Ministry of National Education. It was open to middle and secondary school students, with over 500 entries across all 16 academic inspectorates in Senegal. The initiative was aimed at promoting creativity among young people and strengthening their connection to the Games in the lead up to the very first Olympic event to be held on African soil. 16-year-old Nadai Mariama Diop created the winning design, while 18-year-old Nadai Katie Crystal Kumbasa created the name. This was the winning design. And again, Ao is the name. It means joy in Yoruba, which is extremely sweet. And this is the winning design. I love this design. It features a lion wearing a djembe drum, which is the one featured under the arm, and also cowrie shells featured in the design alongside the clothing and tied to the tail. And it's also holding the Olympic torch. This lion looks so fun and positive, and it is adorable. And this is the mascot that was created based off of the design. A lot of people were looking at this design and they felt like something was wrong. This is another version of the design, kind of like a front-on profile. And the comments are reading, the kid's design looked better than the AI sloppy turned it into. Quote, promoting creativity, end quote, yet you took a young man's design and ran it through the AI Slopifier 3000. How disrespectful and soul-crushing of you. The kid did better than that AI slop. Notice how the details and soul disappeared when fed and turned into AI slop? And there was also this quote retweet by Mar, which went viral with 38,000 likes, which reads, why would you feed some kid's design into an AI art algorithm? When you look at this design, the Olympic version, not the kids version, there's a lot of elements of it that just look off. Look, benefit of doubt, maybe it's AI generated, maybe it isn't, but this is like a sloppy design work that is lacking the care and the time put into something honestly as like important as an Olympic mascot. I mean, here, right, we have this is a 3/4 profile of the lion head. The lion's head is turned, and the eye is actually sitting on top of the nose, which is visible here. Here, the lion's lower jaw is this like lighter beige color than the rest of the lion's face skin tone. And whomever made this design, AI or human, they forgot to like clean up the beige coloring from the upper part of the muzzle of the lion. So it's just bleeding in here. Not to mention like the incomplete line work. Like the line work is just intersecting right here. And then there's broken line work here. Not to mention like the line work completely disappears for like part of the finger. Maybe it's due to like recoloring the line work for the Olympic torch. And then the tail. Oh lord. So from what it looks like in the kid's design, the cowrie shells are on a red string that's tied to the tail. And it kind of looks like that was missing, and instead it's like two other like sprouts of tufts of hair off the lion's tail that end in a cowrie shell, which is just kind of odd. Like this doesn't look to be the purpose of the design. So it looks like whomever reinterpreted this either again ran it through AI or misinterpreted the kid's design altogether. The front-on design is even more confusing because isn't this the mascot? Right? Like this is the mascot. There are key design elements that are just missing or completely different, right? Like if this is a character design, a core element of the design are the cowrie shells tied to the tail and the drum that's featured alongside the zigzag trim detailing on the clothing. And the zigzag trim detailing is present, but the cowrie shells on the hat are actually different now. Not to mention there's no cowrie shells tied to the tail anymore. And the drum is missing. So I don't know, maybe this is like a stripped down version of the lion where they took out a lot of the core elements, but they left these cowrie shells, which weren't present in this design. So it's just a bit confusing. I mean, the Olympics have had like many different mascot designs over the years, right? And most of them, almost all the mascot designs have had really consistent branding and design elements. This is like Japan's mascot. Worst case scenario, they took a kid's design and fed it into AI and just whatever slop is spat out, it was like, yep, we're gonna run with it. Slightly better case scenario, it was a human designer that made it that just, I guess, maybe they were given a really heavy time crunch and turned it over as fast as possible. But that, like, you know, a lack of attention to detail was paid to the design itself to leave, you know, pretty notable errors like the eye overlapping and stuff and like misinterpreting the tail design. And they just left it at that. And again, when it comes to like, oh, did this use AI? Did this not use AI? Also, sorry, my cat, we cut his balls off today. So this is why he has a little donut around his neck. Sorry, Chip. He's in here for supervision. A big thing as to whether, okay, is this AI, is this not, especially when there's only like one or like a very minimal amount of artwork to kind of look over, is okay, what is this organization and person's stance on AI in general, and Gen AI specifically? Have they used it in the past? And with the Olympics, they actually have. We have this post, which was actually made October 31st, also posted by the Olympics. Meet Ayo, the Dakar 2026 mascot, a vibrant symbol of Senegalese youth, joy, and unity. Wearing its traditional Tingande hat. Sorry, I tried looking up a pronunciation and it just wouldn't play the audio, so I don't know. And carrying a djembe drum, Ayo celebrates the wisdom, energy, and cultural pride of Senegal. Hashtag Dakar 2026, hashtag Ayo. So this is the video in question. And if you looked at the video and thought, something looks a little bit off, well, you're not wrong. I agree with you. You know, here we have Ayo jumping and the shoelace is kind of broken on this foot. And the colors of the socks don't even match in this frame. You know, a human artist wouldn't have done that. And in the comments, the Olympic Games tweeted, the video includes AI generated images. Okay, it's Ayo, not Ayo. Okay, got it. So after seeing that, the Olympics have used AI in the past, recently as of October 31st, on the exact same mascot, Ayo. So there's that. It doesn't put it past them to potentially have used AI in some way, shape, or form to influence the official version of the mascot. Now, it comes into the question, who bears the responsibility of this happening if it is allegedly true that AI was run on this kid's design? Because the Olympics themselves didn't make the design. It was actually the organizing committee for the Youth Olympic Games in Dakar that organized the design contest in collaboration with Senegal's Ministry of National Education. So there's that. However, also sorry, my cat is like freaking, oh my god. It's because my big cat is right outside and they're not allowed to be together, which is why like I'm trying to separate them so my big cat doesn't lick little boy's incision wounds. Also, little boy is like 11 pounds. He's not very little anymore. But in the frequently asked questions, it says who is responsible for creating the emblem, the medals, designs, and the mascot. And it cites that, again, it is created by the organizing committee, but it needs approval from the IOC executive board to make sure it's in compliance. If this is true, was there a situation where the organizing committee hosted it, picked the mascot, and then the exec board saw it and was like, yeah, you're good to go, and greenlit the mascot? But what is really interesting is the fact that they hosted a medal contest design for the same Olympics, the Youth Olympic Games medal design competition for Dakar 2026. And under the rules, under Article 6, Intellectual Property Rights and Image Rights, in 6.2, candidates warrant that their applications were not created using any AI system. And if so, you will automatically be eliminated. So that's also interesting. Again, I don't have a confirmation or a denial, right? The Olympic Games never made a statement about the mascot itself. You know, it's interesting to note that in the medal competition, they have a rule where you're not allowed to submit AI as your work into this. So it's kind of interesting. It could potentially be a copyright issue because AI images are legally not copyrightable. So the Olympic Games will then not have the copyright to reproduce that artwork for medals to then give out to people. That could be an issue. That could be a possibility. But at the end of the day, people are kind of torn about this, right? Everybody thinks it's AI generated. However, because the Olympic Games never made a statement, you know, there's a slim possibility that maybe it wasn't. So I'm curious about your thoughts, and I would love to hear so with respect in the comment section down below. If you like this video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Don't forget to check me out on Etsy. I have digital art there for streamers and creators. I also have a coffee with free resources like a free sponsorship guide, and I stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST. So I hope to catch y'all there or in another video. Peace.